So this will be first in a series of commentaries on a series of blog posts by Carrie Nelson on Bitch Media. The first of which is Visibility, Deconstructing Images of Bisexuality in the Media. Sorry, I'm going to refer to my notes every now and again. I was pointed to this blog from Dyke who I follow on Facebook and on Twitter, both of whom's links you can find in the description box below, because I love you guys. Shout outs. And I thought this would be really cool to do a commentary series on. Really great because I get to talk about something I'm passionate about. Bisexual visibility is a big deal for me, and how we are portrayed and seen in mainstream media is not always very telling of the people we actually are, and can be quite misleading. The negatory of that was essentially me coming out on YouTube. I know it's YouTube. I know it's reasonably anonymous, but I do have some in real life followers. And, you know, is it important to me that people know I'm bisexual? Insert thinky here. I'm not that fancy with my video skills. But then I thought about it and I was like, you know, I've never really felt a need to come out. Whenever people ask me specific questions, I give them specific answers. But I didn't really self-label unless someone asked specifically. And when I did, it was the label I chose, which happens to be bisexual, is often the label of choice because it is the least confusing one of this particular part of me. And I realized that my stories and my comments are deserving of being heard. They're deserving of being heard being a Black woman of Caribbean descent living in North America. They're worthy of being heard as a human, and they're worthy of being heard as a bisexual human. And I actually really didn't feel like creating a whole new blog because I'm really bad at blogging. I'm really great at vlogging though. I'm discovering I'm really great at it. So housekeeping stuff. I am not going to summarize the article. The link is down there. See it? Are you looking at it? Are you looking at it now? Right? Go read it. She's an excellent writer, really clear, very thought-provoking and bereft. Thank you very much if you ever watch this, Carrie. Thank you. So go read the description. Or go read the description, go look at the article. So, on to actual commentary. The visibly invisible. Often when I see this particular aspect of myself portrayed in the media or just mainstream society in general, it's as the hot bi babe or the unicorn. And there are times when I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's great. You know, this is all wonderful. And then when it started to get annoying was when I realized that was all people saw me as. And I am a complex being beyond sex. Yeah. So constantly seeing myself portrayed in movies and television and in the written media as only being about who I have sex with and when I have sex with them is a little bit diminutive to me. So it angers me a lot. But I pretty much usually just complain to people who already know, and I preach to the converted. But instead I thought I'd do this. I really, 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 really liked the fact that she chose to do the little bit of housekeeping that she did, and actually define what she was going to use as bisexual, because there are so many interpretations, and I'm just going to read directly from the text. I want to establish what I mean when I say bisexual. Robin Oakes defines bisexuality as the potential to be attracted romantically and or sexually to people of more than one sex and or gender, not necessarily at the same time, not necessarily in the same way, and not necessarily to the same degree. I have never heard this before. I am now in love with it. I really want to kiss this Robin Oakes person. I will say that my study of bisexuality has been mostly experimental. Other people's experiences, other people's life stories, and how I go through my life is how I learn about my bisexuality. So I haven't read a whole lot of stuff. That's not fair, or really true. I have. It's just that things like other people's definitions, this one, I really like. Because part of the reason that I had an issue with the term bisexual was the whole gender dichotomy and assumption of two genders and equal split of blah, 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 blah. If you want to get into a conversation about how my attraction to people works, we can have that conversation, but that's a completely different vlog. And like I said, I really like that description. So props to you, Carrie, for finding it and putting it out there, and props to Robin for coming up with it. So I'm also going to talk about a little bit about the actual comments that are posted. Now, I will say that this is comments posted prior to noon on March 12th, 2012. Because that's when I printed it, because I'm old school like that, and I like to write notes in stuff, and and that's when I printed it. So, let's see. Notes. There was interesting discussion on the whole bisexual, pansexual, queer. I personally choose bisexual because it's easier to explain than pansexual. When trying to explain one's sexuality to people who are very limited in scope, at least bisexual, they have some sort of realm of knowledge of where this might be. Pansexual, the vast majority of mainstream people I know don't seem to understand what that means. I'm probably more pansexual, but I choose bisexual. It resonates with me better. I really don't like being called queer. We'll just, like I said, that's another one of those, that's for a different vlog on a different day. I really don't. There was lots of commentary on bisexual character in Glee. I would have to say, I don't watch Glee. I quite enjoy the music, and for someone who is vocally inclined, it is lovely. But I feel like I'm watching an after-school special every time I watch it, and I'm being hit over the head with some kind of a lesson at the end of it. And I figure that I am not 13 anymore, and I don't need to be hit over the head with lessons. If the universe is going to do that to me, I'd rather it do that to me on its own time, not while I'm watching TV. So I actually don't know anything about the Glee storyline. And no, after reading the comments, I was not tempted to go look up the storyline. Yay! There's a character. That's great. The more, the merrier. It was pointed out that she never really says specifically that she's bisexual, but putting fluidity of sexuality out there is always risky, because people, we're human and we tend to have this either or ideology. So putting the idea out there that there is more than just an either or is mind-blowing for a lot of people. I am very interested in seeing the continued deconstruction of bisexuality in the media. By the time I actually put this up, there have actually been 2 blog posts since this, so I'm a little behind, but I will catch up, and I'm interested in seeing not only the bloggers, commentary, but the commentary of other people, because yes, Toronto has a quite significant bi community, of which I am a part, but sometimes it's nice to hear new voices, and voices I wouldn't necessarily hear. So that's it for this one. Catch you next time.